Record and welcome you all to the SUCCESSFIT team call. And I think it's a really special night tonight because tonight we get to highlight some newer coaches who I always think it's really great to hear from newer coaches, and because I even though I feel like I have a good understanding now, and we highlight some more seasoned coaches of what they're doing, and they get to share some tips. When you're starting out, it's so similar, I think, across the board, like how you're connecting with people, what you're doing. You know, we can all really take away some really great specifics. And that's what I really wanted to highlight on this call. And I'm pumped to celebrate Sabrina and Robyn and Elaine. And Michelle couldn't be on because it's 5:30 in BC and her husband's not home yet, but she did share some tips, and I'll share those at the end if we have time. But I'm excited to highlight these three coaches tonight and have them share sort of a little bit about themselves and specifically what they've done in the last month or two that they think has really helped them hit Success Club this last month, and what they are going to make sure to keep doing this next month to repeat that behavior, because that is a lot of what we do, right? We talk a lot about the value of Success Club, and that really is how we're changing lives. And if, as you see by the post I made in SUCCESSFIT today, that there's a significant difference in the growth of your business and your earning potential if you are consistent about this over time. So without further ado, I'm going to have Elaine kick us off tonight.
Surprise!
We'll go Elaine, Sabrina, Robyn. I think we'll go in that order because that's the way I'm looking at you, if that's okay. Just so you know what to expect and when you're coming. And I will happily pass it over to Elaine right now. So take it away.
And I'll leave it to the other ladies to get their 50-page PowerPoint decks ready. We were joking about that earlier.
Nice. I love it.
Oh, okay. Where do you want me to start?
Well, why don't you tell us just a little bit about, I guess, you and your story, like who you are, what brought you here to coaching, and then sort of, because you're really new, like really this is last month was your first month, and maybe tell us a little bit about that because you had some success last month and then you had a lot of success this month. So hearing that would be great.
Okay, great. So I'm like brand spanking new since February. I signed up at the end of February, and I guess I really consider myself to be a work in progress. What I do outside of this, I'm the talent and culture leader at a mid-sized company. Very busy job, lots of pressure. Can you guys still see me, hear me? Okay, I just had this weird internet message come up. So now I consider myself to be a balance seeker and a reformed workaholic. I'm, quite ambitious. I have been successful, but I think I've pursued success up until now for all the wrong reasons. I wanted to prove people wrong, make certain people in my life proud of me, wanted to impress others. It was not really so much about me and glass of wine for courage, me and my family. I won awards for my company. Did you lose me? Nope, still going? Okay. And at the beginning of this year, I was named number 15 on a list of the top 32 senior HR professionals in Canada. So, good awards, but at the same time, for some reason, it just seemed really hollow and meaningless because I just was feeling like I was on a train going somewhere that I didn't want to be going anymore. So I was out of balance, and last November, I really had a bit of a kind of a health crisis, and I knew I had to make changes. And along came my guardian angel, Bria, and she had invited me to a clean eating challenge. It was one of the free groups. It was December, and I did really well with it, and I really enjoyed it. And I just kind of went from there. I decided this was going to be my year, that I was going to make changes and do things completely differently. And January 1st, first thing in the morning, I bought my first challenge pack, joined a 21-day challenge group, and just kind of went from there. And I really enjoyed it. I loved the way that it made me feel. And I started to feel kind of stronger and better about myself. And I just wanted to keep going from there, and just started exploring, how do I stay accountable? How do I keep going? And, Bria and I talked, and I ended up signing up as a coach. And this is my naked child right here. Say hello.
Hi.
And it was perfect timing because I ended up having some pretty serious disappointments and disagreements in the workplace a couple days later. And at that point, it was, okay, you know what, I'm definitely pursuing something different for myself. So I'm still working at the same place, but I'm no longer killing myself for these people. I'm having fun doing this for myself instead. So, yeah, it's been great. It's been really great. And I was always a bit of a social media hoe. I was always posting stuff on Facebook, so it's kind of cool to be, actually making money doing what I already was doing for fun anyhow. So that was Lauren. So that's me in a nutshell.
That's great. I love that you showed us how you came in like as a free group, and through the free group and as a challenger. And so those free groups, guys, they work.
Oh, totally. So, yeah. So I guess you want to know what I've done, or?
Yeah, I guess. So I know like last month you came in and you were like, okay, I'm going to try to run my first group. And it was when you really were starting like from scratch, like a lot of us do when, we're just connecting with people. And I know you hit SC4 last month, and then this month you came back. You had a plan, and I just love for you to share, like, what did you do last month? And then what did you do this month? Because you grew from hitting Success Club 4 to Success Club 10 this month.
Yeah, I shocked the heck out of myself with that too. I guess I'm just looking at some of my notes. I honestly think it's everything that you've talked about. It's momentum, it's the compound effect, it's the daily activity. Probably the biggest thing for me is relationships. I started doing all of the daily work late February, tried very unsuccessfully to put together a challenge group for March, but at the time I didn't see it, but I was planting seeds. And, there was a lot going on under the surface. You just don't realize that it's happening. So in April, there was a fair bit of interest in my 21-day challenge posts, lots of discussion, lots of follow-up. I ended up having 2 people sign up, and both of them, I think, I could attribute that to relationships. They knew me, they trusted me. They also had a burning desire to make a positive change in their life. It wasn't just that I came along, but they had something that they were seeking, and it was, perfect timing. So that was for my May group. So that's where the 2 people, the 4 points came from. I also had what I like to call decoys. I had some decoys in that group. I had some people come out of the woodwork, already had the kits. Some of them already had coaches, but I guess there's some coaches who just sell product and don't actually do challenge groups. And I thought, you know what the heck, make the group look bigger, show them what I can do. And then more importantly, we spend so much time trying to post on social media and get mileage out of that. I thought, you know what, they're here. I'm going to let them do the work for me. So I built relationships with them. I asked them for referrals. I asked them to do shout outs. I wanted that visibility on social media, and I did get it from them. And I'm hoping that they're going to be future customers as well.
That's awesome. Yeah. So I don't mean to interrupt you, but right there. So you said the people who maybe already had programs that you knew or had coaches, but that weren't active coaches, you allowed in your groups, but then you spoke with them about doing shout outs publicly on their page about it. Okay. That's a really great idea. And then you asked them for referrals?
Yeah. So I've asked them, if there's somebody who might be interested, send them my way, or let me know, that kind of thing. Because I figure if somebody comes their way, I'd rather them send them to me than to the inactive coach.
Right. So, yeah, that's awesome. And it's a really
customers.
Yeah. I think it's something that we sometimes forget to do, right? To ask people for referrals, and also I think there's a lot of value in having people do a post on their page. When they do a post, just talking about what they're doing, you can generate a lot of interest. So
yeah, because you're accessing a whole group of friends that you don't normally have access to.
Yeah,
right?
You need people to add to your network and so on.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, but I think the thing that really kind of pushed things over the edge, or I'm assuming that it is, because who knows what was going on under the surface, was last month I also did an experiment, did a 7-day free eating, free eating, 7-day, yeah, set up a buffet on my front lawn. And kind of put something together. And I had some great help in terms of material from Bria, Monica, and Bobby Joe. So thank you to them. And I got a lot of interest out of that. I got a lot of referrals. People were adding their friends to the group. It was great. And I think what was going on behind the scenes was people were continuing to watch what I was doing, what I was posting. Seeing my commitment, people started to send me messages saying, hey, I've really got this issue. And so it was almost like reverse hey girls. I was getting the hey girls. So then, I put out a call to action for my June challenge group. Did a lot of dancing around back and forth through messages with the clean eating participants. None of them signed up, which is really interesting. But I think they will. I think they will in the future. And again, the ones who did sign up, the 5 that did sign up, they were all relationship based. And one of them I knew, but she was also a referral from last month's challenge group. Somebody who got results. Somebody was like, hey, what's going on? She's like, oh yeah, I'm doing this with Elaine. And she's like, oh yeah, I've seen her post. And it just kind of went from there. So I don't know. So I'm hoping that the ones that kind of came out of the 7-day group last month, I'm continuing to chat with them and follow up and let them know about stuff coming up and just kind of keep working on that. And I rolled 2 of my May challengers into the June group. So they're continuing to go. And I've got a couple of the decoys still going too. So
awesome.
Yeah. So I don't know, I guess all that just to say it's definitely long-term focus. It's relationships, it's adding value, showcase what you do, whether it's through free groups or posting recipes, just helping people out. I think the other thing, probably the main thing that I learned from doing the internship last month too was we really have to focus on our avatar and connecting with what that person wants and what their needs are and their fears are, because I'm telling you, all of the people that came to me are the ones that fit that. They were that age group or those concerns or those challenges.
Like they share your struggles, you think? Like that's what you mean by that, is that the people who ended up coming to you are the ones who relate to you the most? Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. So, I think that's about it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So just so, because I think what I heard, like I know how you proceed because you're my personally sponsored coach. So I did watch how you were very consistent in terms of like your regular posting and you're sharing valuable and fun content. You do a good job of like sharing your funny side and who specifically you are. But it sounds like the seeds you planted in March and April were what ended up coming to fruition in May for you.
Yeah.
And I think that's such a valuable thing because that is how this works. Like that's why it is tough to get started in this, I find, and hitting Success Club those first few months is because it comes down to the seeds we plant. And we have to make sure we're planting them every month, no matter how successful or unsuccessful we're feeling, because that's what's going to grow down the road.
For sure.
Awesome. Congratulations on how well you're doing. I'm very excited on a great month for you. I'll leave it open for questions at the end if that's okay, but I'm going to pass it over to Sabrina, and I'd love to hear a little bit about you and what brought you here first, and if you could share, that'd be great. Thanks, Elaine.
Thank you.
So, hi, I'm Sabrina, if any of you don't know me already. Jody will tell you that I am the absolute perfect no. I must have said no to Jody 1,000 times. I said, no way I'm not eating that crazy food. No way I can't do those crazy exercises. And then after I finally did a challenge in the summer and I took it camping and I rocked that friggin' challenge, I I just took time off, and then I don't know, it's those seeds. It's the constant, Jody just kept inviting me to each challenge group, and I said no, no, no. And then I said yes, and then it said yes to discount coach. And then within Jody, like 3 weeks, I was already at SC6. And just...
you went really fast with it. I thought you really were just going to discount coach. And then all of a sudden you were like, well, where's all this training? Oh, okay.
So I'm your classic no. So even if people say they're going to be a discount coach, you never know what's going to spark that and how fast it'll turn, I guess is my point of that. So I've been a coach for 4 months now, I think. 3 and a bit months. I've hit SC every month so far. So I earned a ticket to Summit 2017 because I was after the date. I know, yay! That's crazy. And for me, it's that was a goal. Like, I didn't know it was going to be a goal, and I got a phone call from Carl, our CEO, and I didn't know that would matter, but I listened to it, and it mattered. And then I thought, I got to do this. So for me, some of the things that make it easier to hit Success Club is I use apps all the time. I use apps for everything because I have my computer at home. I have an iPad. I have my phone. I want to have the answers on hand. So for me, if I answer something and it sort of, I like how it sounds or people respond to it, I will immediately copy it and put it in that app in Evernote. So Evernote is a really, really, really big thing for me, which somebody actually on a team call told me about. I use it for everything. I did I did a free clean eating group with Erica and Jamie just last month, and I did a dessert portion. I had all my recipes in that program because no matter where I was, I could post it. And I think that's a big deal because I don't want to be tied to my computer at home. The point of this is to have freedom. The point of this is to be able to do whatever, for me, is to be able to do whatever I want and to hang out with my family and to go on vacations. But I can still respond to my challengers or potential challengers by using that app, if that makes sense.
I love that. So you have the Evernote app, and what you've done is, like, when you have created something to say to someone that makes sense and seems to work for you and seems to provide good information, you've just saved that as like your script in your app. So then you can always cut and paste that and tailor it.
Exactly.
That's awesome. And sorry,
we all start out with like a generic script, and you're going to slowly change that into your own thing. Mm-hmm. And I think new coaches need to not be afraid to use that in the beginning, because eventually you'll just say your own thing. But at first it's scary.
Yeah. And it's nice to have something to work off of. That was how I always felt. Like, it's like, okay, at least I have a structure, and then I can take it and start to make it sound like myself and in a way that I'd like to hear it as well. And that goes back to the avatar, right? Talking to the people who are like you. Yeah. I love that you discovered when you heard this, when you started getting, you didn't even know you wanted it until you had the opportunity. And I think that's that whole concept of showing up to go up. And I think there's so much value of hopping on team calls or listening to recordings, because when you show up, you start to realize the value in things. Yeah. You mentioned, though, that, like, it was like you were expecting to be a discount coach, and then all of a sudden you were pretty much at Success Club 6. Like, who were those 3 people, and how did you get them?
So that's a lot like Elaine was talking about. I simply posted my results because I was stoked. I lost 10 pounds. And when the heck do you lose 10 pounds, right? And then I took the summer off. Like, literally, we finished, I think, in July. Actually, we finished on my birthday. And I literally didn't do it again for 3 months, and I didn't gain back a pound, like not 1 pound. So then when I finally signed up to be a coach, I was like, guys, this is not your average slim fast. you know, like we're good here. This is going to work and it's okay. And it's real food that you buy at the grocery store. And people just responded. Like, I think I said to Jody, like, what do I do? People want to buy it from me. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. She said, sell it, girl. Like, just do it.
Sounds like Jody.
Yeah.
So did you do, though, you said you shared your results. Like, was it a call to action post specifically, or you were just like, oh my gosh, I feel so good? Like, what was that post about, and what did it look like? Was there a picture?
So my best results, I have that noted here. My most successful posts are always before and afters. Always. Okay. I usually do an image. I did an image of myself, and they always work well. I've done an image of my mom, who is 66, and she killed it. And that got insane. Like, we're talking over 100 comments. Like, it was nuts. And then I just did a post with me and my mom, but then just initials and then the results, because not everybody likes to be called out and named and tagged. And so, and it also left it open to like, I wonder if that's that person that I know, you know, for other people. So my most successful posts are always before and afters, always. I don't know why that is. But they are clearly effective.
I totally agree. And I think a lot of people can be, you know, they feel like, oh, I need to be like half naked in these before and afters. Like, what were you wearing in your before and afters? Were you?
I was always clothed. Okay. I'm always clothed. I remember about a month ago, I did a picture and it was showing my belly button, like my midriff, because I was like, woohoo, my jeans fit. And it was a huge deal. Like, it was a big deal to show my midriff. It was ridiculous. But no, just literally a tank top. And I found an old picture, which is what made me call Jody in the first place. I found a picture from our family vacation last year. And I was like, wow, what happened to me? Where am I in that picture? Because I just see this heavy person hiding in a chair. So I took that picture, and I happen to have the exact same shirt still, of course, because who gets rid of their clothes? And I put it on and went, look, guys, this is the same shirt, the same clothes. This is the same me in here, but I'm 10 pounds lighter. And at that time, I think I was 15 pounds lighter. And it's so obviously not altered that. And my mom's is the same. She's got a tank top and shorts on, I think, but it's the exact same tank top and shorts. So
I love that. It sounds to me like you really, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you really like unabashedly shared your passion out in social media, kind of threw it all out there. And so people could see that. They were like, that you're excited, that you believed in something, and you showed them proof. And then did they reach out to you, or did you reach out to the people who were liking and commenting your stuff?
It was a little of both. I reached out in the, hey, thanks for liking my post kind of way. And I'd say I got maybe 2 challengers that way eventually in the first month. But by and large, it was them going, what are you doing and how do I do it? And yeah, I'm a little passionate.
That's awesome, Sabrina. I'm sure other people would agree, but if you don't mind sharing, I would love it if you, when you get some time in the next week or two, if you could like maybe throw those in a document so we could see actually what the pictures were and what you said in there, and people could learn from that.
For sure.
Would you be okay with that? Okay.
Yeah,
that's sure. Awesome.
The other thing for me that is very helpful, and again, that's for me, is I am a little obsessed with the Coach Online Office, like more than a little bit. I go on it every day. I check every day. Just check my numbers, check where I'm at. So I check my SC points, which comes up right away. I check my orders, because then I can see if a customer who's on recurring is now going to get their order. I can see if somebody placed an order. Like, I have a customer that just randomly places orders. She refuses to do home direct, but she just randomly will throw in an order, which is fine. That's what works for her and whatever. But then I can see when she does that. I always check my customer list because you never know. If you qualify for SC, then you get into leads, which is why it's so important, right? Which Bria can explain because I'm not good at that. But for me, the leads have showed up as people signing up for club, and then I'm just assigned as their coach. So then I can reach out to them, and you never know when that's going to happen. And then I also check my commissions because, hello, like it's kind of about money too, right? It's kind of third or fourth on the list, but I like to see, like, how am I doing this week? Did I do better last week? Well, what did I do last week that made it better, you know? And then I also check the SC qualification page because that'll tell me if I'm on track for leads or not on track, or if I got leads last month. Yeah, I'm just really obsessed with the Coach Online Office, and there's so many awesome things on there that I just use it a lot.
There's a lot of value in it, and it can be really confusing. So if anyone has questions on the COO, go Sabrina. It sounds like you've got it down. That's amazing. So what do you think specifically, obviously you'll keep checking the online office. What are you going to do, now in June to make sure that you have the same success this month and next month? Because I know you have a busy summer. You're building a house right now, like literally building a house. So yeah, with your own two hands.
So Evernote and the COO make my job easier. I always allow people who are interested that already have the kits, I always allow them into my group because you never know what they're going to buy next. But I do always make sure that they switch to me as a coach because they may have no coach well, first I ask that. Like, I'm not stealing anyone from any of you. But if they've never met their coach, well, it's a quick, easy switch. But the other thing I always do is I talk about the specials. Like last month for me was size, and I loved size. I did videos of me doing size. I was following a different program, but then I would do a size video because that's what was on. You can take even if you only took a portion of it, 10 minutes of that, or if it was featured in the on-demand, just follow a few minutes of it and use that to push the sale. In my opinion, that's what I did. And I loved it, and I love to dance, so that was easy. But also the last day of the month is so stinking important because even if you're only at SC4, both sales are on that very last day of the month. And like giving people the option of 4, sometimes 5 programs on sale is a big deal. At least in my experience. And it sort of lets them see, okay, here's all your options and it's really awesome, but you have to make a decision tonight.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like it's easy. If all of June 21 Day Fix is on, well, now they have as much time as they want to be wishy-washy. But if they were thinking about size, you have tonight and that's it. So sometimes I find, even though they don't want size, they'll commit to say the next month's sale, even though they have more time for that, but just because there is a deadline, they'll commit to that. So never give up. Even if you're 1 or 6 or you have 0 points away, never give up. Even on that last day, I know my first month, I was like, I'm never going to make it. And then I was like, bang, 6, 8, done on the last day. And then the first day of the month, I bang, hit 6. And, like never give up. Every single day is important.
I love that, Sabrina. That's great. As I said, it really sounds like you share your passion. And I think at the end of the day, people, especially when you're working with connecting with people, they are drawn to the emotion, right, around it. Like, I want to do what you're doing because I can see that it's working and that you're passionate about it. And that is how I think this business works so well, is that you get, when you have to touch people's hearts before you ask for their hand, kind of thing. And I think that's a valuable lesson. So thank you. That's really helpful. And I'm excited to keep seeing your success. And I know you have a busy summer, but I really believe that you'll keep it rolling.
Yeah. Try.
Yeah. Okay, Robyn, I'm going to move it over for you to share a little bit about you, what brought you here, and what worked for you this month. So this was your very first month, and so we got kind of a different, you guys got an array of people. Sabrina for 4 months, Elaine for 2, and Robyn, it was her very first month this month. And I remember her saying, like, to Trish, who's her coach, like, okay, May 2nd, I think was the date. May 2nd, I'm going to do a post about it. Like, I still remember that so clearly.
Oh, that's funny. And I have to apologize right now because I did actually write stuff out. So I'm going to be literally reading a little bit.
That's okay.
And you're going to hear about that May 2nd date.
I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
No, that's okay. But I felt the need to get a little prepared because I thought, I'm going to forget everything.
Well, thank you. Thanks for being on tonight.
So,
and yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, awesome. So first I was just going to tell you guys a little about me. I'm the crazy one who has the 6 kids. So from age 29 to 38, I basically had all 6 of my kids. And my whole world, my whole life, my whole being was geared towards building a family. And before that, I was very, very, very active, always played tons of sports, was into everything. So it was all about me, all growing up through high school and university. I was on the varsity teams, and it was all me. And then all of a sudden I got married, and that kind of was put on the back burner, which was great. But I don't know, once I came to terms after my littlest guy stopped nursing, I had my body back, but I had to undergo surgery. So after the 6-week recovery, I was like, okay, now what? I have my body back. It's somewhat healed. And this actually brings me up to how I became a coach, because this takes me just to last October. So I'm going to start reading now, so please forgive me, but it's just... Okay, so, my Beachbody journey started at the end of September this past year, when I had been hearing a lot about the 21-day fix online with a couple people posting things about the program, and I had actually watched an infomercial about it. Then I saw one of Trish's posts and commented on it, and she messaged me. Within 4 days, I had ordered my challenge pack. Like, I was sold. I was starting my first challenge October 12th. I did the challenge and loved the program. It wasn't necessarily the pounds and the inches, because I lost a few here and there that I really loved about it, but it was mostly about how I felt. I loved being connected. Now, I actually ended up putting the shakes on hold, and I let my workout slip a little, but I started to realize that I was missing something. Like, I really did. I really missed the workouts. I missed the shakes, but most importantly, I missed being connected to others who are also similar to me and working towards similar goals. So in mid-December, I signed up as a coach, but really, really only for the discount. So I've actually been signed up as a coach since December. So I might be your oldest coach out of the 3 newbies. But I didn't pick that date. I didn't really start putting it out there till May. I think it was about 5 days later, I found myself sitting in on one of these team calls. And that's when everything started to change. So I just signed up as a discount coach, and 5 days later, Trish was like, can you get on this call tonight? And I'm like, okay. So I hop on, and then seriously, that night, everything changed. I started thinking up ideas for posts. I started to notice what was happening on the newsfeed on SUCCESSFIT. I had Trish's positive influence, and my wheels just started turning. Like, I couldn't turn it off. I started to think, maybe, just maybe, I could do this coach thing more than just for the discount. Like, I wanted to be part of this awesome team and be an active part. So I got a little obsessed. I think I went backwards here, because I started listening to what everyone was saying and started doing some of the things I would hear about. The first thing that I actually dove into was personal development. I ordered a couple of books from Chapters and started to read. I also started to listen to the National Wake Up Call, which I totally look forward to every week. While doing chores around the house, I just put it on my podcast on my iPhone. I was addicted to them, but it was such a big... Oh, sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back. You cut it for a second, but you're back. Oh, no.
Are you good?
I think that's okay. I think keep going. I think we're okay. Oh, maybe we're not okay.
Are you okay? I can't hear you. Okay, are we good?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think you're back now, Robyn.
Okay, sorry.
No, that's okay. You're good.
Okay, so I did this for months. But with such a big family, I always found I was too busy to actually start. I always had a million other things to do. Life was always like it was happening around me, and although excited about the opportunity, I was still being held back. Just on April 20th, I had sent Trish another message saying that I still wasn't quite ready. 2 days later, I sent Trish another message saying that, no, I'm going to start on May 2nd. And for her to stay tuned to my Facebook page. Now I was committed. So this brings me to my first point of what I've been doing to hit Success Club, and that's to commit and follow through. Just like we are trying to get people every day to commit to a challenge, I had to set that date and commit to a start date. And then when I did that, sure enough, on May 2nd, I was like, I have to post. So I followed through. I had written it down, I told Trish I was doing it, and now I was committed. So May 2nd rolled around and I put it out there. I proudly talked a bit about my journey and how much I love the programs and how I felt on them. And I told everyone I was now a coach and wanted to pay it forward. So I just spelled it right out. I'm a coach for Beachbody and I want to help you. So since then, I've been committing to things by putting them in writing and following through. The next date I put out there was the start of my very first challenge group to start May 23rd. And sure enough, it did. Now, in terms of getting people into my challenge group, I've really tried to connect with them. So that brings me to my second point, which is connecting. Whether this is through Facebook posts that really speak to people and connecting with them, friending people on Facebook, messaging people you haven't spoken to in a while, emailing, texting, whatever. Whatever way you do, just reconnect with them. This doesn't even feel like work to me, and I don't think it should either. It's just renewing old friendships, making new ones, and not trying to sell them something, but to actually find out how they are, care about how they are, and they will see the journey you are on through your posts and through your conversations, and then hopefully they'll decide to join you one day. So the third thing that I try and do is listen. Really listen to what people are writing to you, saying to you, and commenting to you. Are they searching for something like I was? Are they looking for smaller thighs? Are they looking for getting healthy on the inside out? Or are they looking for friendships, a sense of belonging, and a sense of purpose? Maybe they're looking for all of these things, which is amazing because that's what you get with this business. And I'm so discovering this, like with the programs. Like it's so incredible. Af've noticed that this, like in a very short time I've been a part of it. So I'm having a blast. So after you've connected and listened to what someone wants, the fourth point is to follow up. Life gets busy and oftentimes people just need you to check in with them. Make sure everything's okay and see if they need anything. I had quite a few inquiries after my initial post about hosting my first challenge as a coach, but I hadn't made a specific date yet in May for the challenge to start. So when I figured out the date my challenge group would start, I followed up with everyone who had shown initial interest in my group. And in a private message, I let them know the start date before I announced it on Facebook. It was another good chance to connect with them again and just let them know a date had been set and I would love if they could join me. My fifth and final point is to not give up. So Sabrina went over this as well, so I love it. I know that from the time I signed up as a discount coach to the time I first really put it out there about me being a coach, it took a lot of back and forth with Trish. I would tell her how excited I was that I was going to do this, but still nothing for me. Trish didn't give up, though she kept telling me she would be there when I was ready. So thank you, Trish. I actually remember getting a card in the mail, like a handwritten note from her that simply thanked me for being on this journey with her. And I was just like, oh my goodness. That was a moment I said to myself, I really want this journey and I don't want to be all talk. And I knew I wouldn't be all talk, but I was glad that Trish also realized that I wouldn't be. I did want to do this. It just took me some time to figure it out. So I'm using this example of my journey with Trish in my hopes when reaching out to people. I'm not giving up on those who didn't join me on my first challenge. I'm just realizing that it's not their time yet. Maybe it never will be, but I won't take that personally, and I won't give up, just in case one day they change their mind. A specific thing I will do this month is to message all of those who were interested last month, but after receiving more information didn't join the challenge. A few people came right out and said that they couldn't afford it right now. So I plan to send them a quick message to reconnect and let them know that the 20-day fix is now on sale this month. Because if money was a deciding factor, maybe now they will decide to go for it and spend a little money on themselves and join my challenge. So that's it. Those are the main things I found. I kind of picked 5 and went with them. And yeah, so commit, all of you. Connect, listen, follow up, and don't give up. And that's it.
Robyn, that was awesome. Really. You did a great job. It was great takeaways from all of you guys. And I mean, for me, I feel like it's amazing because even though we all have different personalities and we all have this great system, like I think, you know, we hear every day, like, okay, you know, this power hour, the power of 3, or the do your bat, like this whole concept of adding to your networking, connecting. But what I feel like for me came across so clearly tonight is, I guess, the energy that you guys went about doing that. And I know this whole journey can be really scary, I think, putting yourself out there and what we say and how to say it. But it sounds to me like the 3 of you, particularly when you just really tapped into how this changed you and how this changed your life, and recognize that you just want to help anyone, like, share this good thing that came to you. I think that is what you guys seem to do really well, is that you were able to put it out there. Of course, being consistent about connecting with those people is such a key part of it, but it sounds like you guys really just shared your heart, and that came across. And I think we can all get kind of scared to do that sometimes. So I feel like, you know, listening to you guys makes me really excited, because we get really nervous, I think, to invite people to our team. But I feel really lucky that, like, for me, Elaine specifically, and a lot of you who are my personally sponsored coaches, decided to join with me in doing this. And then for you guys, you decided to join your coach to do this. And it's funny because you all seem really grateful and happy. And I know I feel really grateful that I came across Emma Whaley's video on YouTube like 3 years ago, because it's changed my life. And I think it's such an important thing to remember when we're inviting other people to join our challenges and then our team, how life-changing this can be. And yeah, I feel like you guys really illustrated that for me tonight. That was almost one of my biggest takeaways beyond your tips. So thank you.
I just want to say one thing that I didn't say before. Talk to your team. Like, get on team calls. And like, I remember my first team call and I was like, oh my gosh, I have coworkers. Really, because that's what I missed most about being a stay-at-home mom, was not having coworkers. But I do, because you're all right here in front of me. And if I have a question or a problem, I can ask. I can ask Bria. I can ask Jody. I can ask my sweet little success partner up there, Jamie. Like, Erica, I can ask anyone, honestly, in our group, and anyone will answer or gives their insight, or like, talk to your team, because we're here and we will carry each other through, which is amazing. Really.
That's a great tip. I feel like I'm shaking. I know,
I want to cry.
Emotional about it, but I think you're right. There's a lot. This can feel sometimes like we're alone. And it wasn't until I actually went to my first Super Saturday, because I kind of was alone out here in Canada for a long time, that I felt like I was a part of something. So you're right. Reaching out and remembering that we're all in this together. We all have ups and downs. And the point is to stay the course. This is very much like be the tortoise. This is a marathon and not a sprint. And it's an endurance goal, right? So that's a really great point, Sabrina. I'm just going to really quickly give Michelle's tips before I open up for any questions. I know it's 20 after 9, so we've gotten a little late, but I just think what has been shared here tonight is so valuable. So thanks to everyone for sticking around. This was Michelle's first month as a coach, and she had actually joined challenges before, but never drank Shakeology until she decided to coach. And then she ordered a challenge pack and was like, oh, this is really good. I'm like, you've never had this before? Because she'd purchased programs elsewhere. And then anyway, we'd been talking for years. So she said a couple things. I added a lot of friends. And I think that's a really valuable tip. I know that she kind of went through and really did her memory jogger and really went through her friends list and made sure that she was adding people every day. She was really regimented on that. She changed her Facebook to public and removed everything that wasn't aligned with that. So that was a decision that she made to do was, she didn't want to share aspects of her life or family. She took that off of Facebook and then made her personal page public so that it was only talking about things she was comfortable having out there. And even she said deleted all past posts, photos, etc. Posted relevant stuff at least twice a day, and she's very consistent about that. And then posted an invite to my challenge group with my before and after photos. So there we hear that again, before and after. The transformation, I think, is what people can really relate to. And Sabrina highlighted that as well. And then she said, I also sent a minimum of 2 Hey Girl messages every single day. And if you haven't been through the Fit Boss internship, the Hey Girl messages are really just, like Robyn said it there too. It's really, for me, it was one of the most fun parts about this is that I got to just genuinely reconnect with people that I cared about, at one point in time in my life and had fun with that without ever necessarily expecting it to be anything other than just a reconnection. So I think what you hear from all of these guys is, no matter you saw, I think 3 different personalities tonight, and Michelle, it would be a 4th, but the consistency in those things. And then of course, putting yourself out there and the passion around it and the planting of the seeds seems to be what really helped. So thank you, guys. Does anyone have questions for these guys tonight before we sign off? We covered a lot and I asked a lot of questions. Sorry.
I talked a lot. Sorry.
No, honestly, I think, anyway, I remember when I was first asked to talk on a team call and it was scary. It was before even we had Zoom and it felt like I was silent on the phone. So I really appreciate you guys putting yourselves out there tonight and sharing with us, because I really think that's the value in this, is the sharing that we do. And I want to thank everyone for being on tonight. I'm just feel really, really lucky that you guys are all here, and I'm excited to see where we take this in June. And I think that you shared a lot of value both in coming from different places and also seeing that you can start, like, Elaine, for you, I just wanted to put out that, I love how you were excited. You hit Success Club 4 in your first month, and we talk about hitting Success Club 5 and everything. But you hit 4, and then the next month you just, those seeds you kept planted really took it beyond. So just keep going. That whole theme of never quitting we're hearing, I think, is such a valuable one.
It was, I thought it was 8 for the month, and I was in the middle of an executive meeting yesterday, and all of a sudden I kind of just took a peek at the online office and I started to laugh, and everybody at the table turned and looked at me and they're like, what? And I'm like, oh, nothing. I was just thinking of something an employee said to me. I was like, 10!
The joy and the excitement. Great. Well, congrats to everybody, and thanks again for being on tonight. And I will look forward to seeing you guys all next week on the team call.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thank you.